Things are looking up for the potheads of America. In a recent interview with YouTuber Hank Green, President Obama said the following: "The position of my administration has been that we still have federal laws that classify marijuana as an illegal substance, but we're not going to spend a lot of resources trying to turn back decisions that have been made at the state level on this issue. My suspicion is that you're going to see other states start looking at this." And the states are definitely looking. So let's take a look at 7 of them who are looking to make marijuana legal. The first is California. Not a huge shocker, I'd imagine, for you. California was the first to approve medicinal marijuana in 1996, and they actually tried to legalize it back in 2010 with Prop 19, but came up short with just 46% of the vote. Election day 2016, things look to be very different. With a population of 38 million, that's a lot of Americans who will now have access to pot. It's one of the brass rings, as it were, for those who are advocates of legalization. Activists are joining the California Coalition for Cannabis Law Reform, and things are certainly looking up. Next, we move to Nevada. Things are moving again in the direction of legalization. The Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol in Nevada, which is a real organization, already qualified a legalization initiative for the 2016 ballot. It would legalize the possession of up to 1 ounce by adults 21 and over and allow for taxed and regulated marijuana commerce. Now, residents approved medical marijuana back in 1998 and again in 2000, but voted down decriminalization in 2002 and voted down legalization in 2006. At the time, that was 39% and 44% respectively. So there is a stumbling block, but things, again, are sort of looking up, particularly with what I just mentioned. That means taking steps toward full legalization. If the legislature doesn't do it, then certainly the citizens on the ballot look to be able to do it in 2016. Either way, Nevada, for those who are in favor, things are looking up for you. Arizona. This may be a tough one. The possession of any amount of pot is still considered a felony, but polling does show support for legalization. The support is hovering around 50%, which is not bad, of course, but in order to really push an initiative, they hope that polling falls around 60%, thereby sort of ensuring it. It's not at 60% yet, but it's certainly an issue that voters will take up, and it would be my guess that somewhere along the way, this gets legalized in Arizona. Next up is Maine. We have the Marijuana Policy Project, and they've been laying the groundwork for statewide legalization for an initiative in 2016. There have been campaigns around the state to make sure that this happens, starting in 2013 and 2014. State Representative Diane Russell has actually filed a legalization bill that the legislature will look at this year. Wouldn't shock me if it passes in Maine, but if the legislature doesn't take care of it again, the citizens can certainly do so. Let's take a look at Massachusetts. This state has also been successful in decriminalization and medical marijuana. Those initiatives took place in 2008 and 2012, respectively. In both cases, the initiatives were approved with 63% of the vote, certainly a decisive margin when taking a look at those numbers. The new Republican governor, Charlie Baker, is opposed. He opposes legalization. However, he has admitted appreciation for Democratic Senate President Stanley Rosenberg's decision to appoint a special Senate committee to examine the issues around legalization. So he might be opposed to it, but he does approve of the conversation. Seems like you might be able to get a foot in the door for those who are in favor of it. Representative David Rogers, who's a Democrat from Cambridge, he already filed a legalization bill, and the head of the Joint Committee of the Judiciary said that he will give a hearing. So again, the door is creaking open. It might not be fully open wide, but it is certainly getting there in Massachusetts. Last but certainly not least, we have Vermont. How has this not been legalized in Vermont of all places yet? But it has not. That said, Governor Peter Shumlin has endorsed legalization in principle. The legislature last year made it legal to grow, sell, and use marijuana for people 21 and over. If that's not basically legal, I don't know what is. But of course, devil is always in the details, in this case, the law and it needing to pass. So again, for everyone who is anxious for marijuana to be legal, it certainly looks like we are heading in that direction. The president has been pretty clear that he's not opposed to it, although there may not be a federal law. State by state, it does look like this issue is being taken care of. So I know that was a mouthful and a lot of information, but it does show you that the tide of pro-legalization support has really turned, and in many cases has turned, in other cases it is turning. So in the comments down below, tell us your thoughts. Do you live in one of these states that's entertaining the idea? Do you live in one of the states where it's already legal? Or do you live in one of those states that says, never ever will it happen? We look forward to hearing your comments down below. As always, please subscribe to the Lip TV, and thanks so much for watching.